Okay, we gotta talk for a real quick second about Troy and Gabriella's You Are the Music in Me versus Troy and Sharpay's, because when Troy and Gabriella sing it, I mean, obviously, besides the fact that their version is a lot more mellow, they actually do a true duet. Like, they are singing together at the same time, melody and harmony, and making a beautiful blend, versus Sharpay's arrangement with Troy is, well, it's just crazy more upbeat and just not at all musically as pleasant an arrangement. It just has these really weird melodic changes in it and other stuff that just drives me batty. But then also, they don't actually duet. They basically just take turns going back and forth singing, and Sharpay does most of the singing. That is music and storytelling, and it is brilliant. This movie is good. Also, Sharpay specifically tells Kelsey, I want you to transpose it for me. The original song was written for Troy and Gabriella, written for both of their voices. Whereas Sharpay's version, despite having Troy included, is really only written for her, and they actually convey that in the music, because in the chorus, Zac Efron has to use this falsetto. It just sounds so awkward. Like, there's a good way to do falsetto, but I hate the way he has to do falsetto in that arrangement, so they're just reinforcing, like, this is all wrong. He is not who he's supposed to be. He's not doing what he's supposed to do with the right person. Like, I just love that the music is reinforcing that. It's so good. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, so now I gotta come back and talk about I Gotta Go My Own Way, because I just watched that scene, and again, I just love what they're doing with the music to reinforce what's happening in the story. So, Troy and Gabriella's duet, You Are the Music in Me, I already said they are singing together. They're singing the same words together, melody and harmony, blending so beautifully. Then you get to I Gotta Go My Own Way, and after Gabriella does all her solo stuff, and Troy's part comes in, they're not duetting together like that. Now their duet is more like Troy and Sharpay's duet that I mentioned earlier. They're singing parts separately, back and forth, like taking turns, rather than singing the same thing together. And the only line in that entire song that they actually sing together as harmony is the words, miss you. So again, the only part in the entire song where they sing the same words together, melody and harmony blending, is miss you, which is a perfect callback to what their relationship was like earlier in the movie. They're now going to miss that being in harmony with each other and able to sing together. And then at this point in I Gotta Go My Own Way, then they do have parts that are separate melodies that are weaving together. So musically it does work, but they're each singing their own words and a separate melody from each other. So it's, again, just reinforcing that there's this big split and now a divide between them, that they, where they are right now in the story, they're no longer able to sing the same thing together because they're in two different places. Love it! And now I just saw the Bet On It scene, and Bet On It comes at the perfect spot, both in the story and for the music, because it is Troy's solo song, which reinforces two things. One, that he, because of his choices, has now completely isolated himself from Gabriella and all of his friends. So he's singing solo, and it's, even if you listen, like, Zac Efron even does the extra parts in the song, so it's just Troy having to make music with himself. But then also it reinforces that this movie is Troy's identity quest journey, and he needs to sing solo because he has to figure out who he is on his own and then move on from there. Still not done, because now I just saw Every Day, and I love the way they structured the music for Every Day, because it starts with Troy singing solo. So it's a perfect connection back to Bet on It when he has to sing solo. But then Gabriella comes in and they're doing the I Gotta Go My Own Way, singing back and forth to each other. But then it transitions into they are singing the same lines together as melody and harmony, back to that beautiful blending of voices that they had when they did You Are the Music in Me. And then at that point, the arrangement becomes a nice combo of them taking turns singing to each other, but then also singing together. And I love that they decided to have Troy and Gabriella sing a completely new song rather than sing You Are the Music in Me, like maybe a little different arrangement of it again, because even though they're now back together and their relationship has been fixed, it's not about you can't go back, you can only go forward. So they really do need a new song that works the same way musically as a duet that You Are the Music in Me did. And then the way the song ends, when all the kids join in and even Sharpay gets brought into the mix. Now the whole community of kids is integrated and they are in harmony with each other. So I love the progression. It starts with Troy solo and then ends with all the kids singing. So well done.